So today I am thrilled to introduce my guest, Jane M. Wagner, the director of the documentary film Break the Game that is currently playing at film festivals, including Outfest in Los Angeles. So thanks so much for speaking with me today, Jane.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
You are definitely welcome. Just to start out, let me know, what is Break the Game all about?
Break the Game is about video game live streamer Narcissa Wright. It follows her just after she's come out as trans and is trying to win back her former followers by being the fastest Legend of Zelda player in the world. And this is all going on while she's living primarily on the internet, living virtually. So the film is told through live streams as she embarks on this quest with the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and also follows as how things are complicated when a viewer named D Girl starts flirting in her chat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, online harassment for queer people is certainly a huge problem, something I've observed. Why do you think this is such an important topic to tackle through film and documentary?
I think that the film kind of touches on a couple of things that are really at the forefront of our digital life and digital experience that hasn't really been explored in a really immersive way where you can really truly feel um, see, where you can feel empathy for the character and really be immersed in their world and know what it's like for them. So with Narcissa's story, we can really experience how much harassment and online cyberbullying affects her emotionally, but also as like how as a system, um, when it plays out over and over again, how it can alter behavior um, and take a really emotional toll. And I think at the same time, the issue of like mental health in online gaming and digital life is only really just now starting to really be explored, um, and for resources to kind of come out of the woodwork that are really specifically tailored towards people who do spend quite a bit of their time online. So I'm talking about like mental health therapy that is tailored towards people like Narcissa who are really in this digital space, which is something that we highlight at the end of the film.
Do you think those resources that are available and kind of the safety mechanisms that are in place on social media are getting better, or do you feel like things are getting worse? Because sometimes I kind of feel like it could be either.
I think it's kind of a mix of both. I started this film in 2017, and I think at the time I really didn't know of anything that was really specifically geared towards people who are living online like Narcissa. Um, and it's been in like the last few years that I've come across organizations like the Online Games and Harassment Hotline, organizations like Take This that really prioritize the mental health of people online and finding resources that are specifically geared for them. And like in the beginning, when I was filming with Narcissa, I was like, "You're having a hard time. Do you have anyone, you can talk to?" And she said, "Well, I did see a social worker, but they didn't understand what my life streaming was like
Hmm.
at all. So I stopped going." So I think there has been some improvement there, but at the same time, it's something that needs to be addressed on like a really systemic level. I think organizations like Twitch need to really step up and be there to help their creators, especially their marginalized creators, when they need help. Like just another example, it was no open secret. It was no secret that Narcissa was being harassed to the extent that she was online. Everyone in the gaming community pretty much knew about it. And I said, "Well, did Twitch ever reach out, knowing that you've been a face of Twitch for a long time. You've been key to their platform." She's like, "No, no, not really." Um, so I think it really some of the responsibility really does fall on these platforms to take accountability.
Yeah, so kind of shocking and sad to hear that they didn't reach out to her. So, but I guess in some ways unsurprising, really seeing how social media platforms have handled harassment. Um, how did you first get involved in this project? Had you interacted with Narcissa or talked with her, or just kind of observed what she was doing online?
Yeah, so I came across Narcissa's story in a very like internet rabbit hole way where I was playing N64 over one winter break and I couldn't beat a boss. So naturally I went to YouTube and found a lot of people speedrunning it and I was like, whoa. Um, my mind was completely blown. So I like beat the boss using some of their tactics and just kept going next video, and came across Narcissa's legendary Ocarina of Time runs, and I could tell instantly that she was like a celebrity of this internet subculture. I was really intrigued, and it happened to be about a month after she transitioned, and was streaming all the time. So I just followed her stream for about a year, and I was just really struck. But to me, it was like the future of media, and the future of kind of our relationships in a way that I never could have predicted, because it was years before the pandemic, and now it's just accelerated.
Definitely have seen that explosion of online activity and doing video calls, obviously, things like that. So lots has changed since the pandemic. I'll say, for online creators like Narcissa who make their living online, or more specifically in the video game community, there can be a lot of misconceptions about people who do that. And what do you think some of those misconceptions are? And what are some of the ways that you hope, opening up conversations like this documentary can perhaps change that?
I think there are a lot of misconceptions. Like the list could go on and on. I think there's a misconception that a lot of these creators are white males, and the truth of the matter is that um, there are almost just as many women who are gaming as men. It's a really diverse community, and I think it's only gotten even more diverse over the past few years as people like Narcissa have kind of paved the way by being visible. I think there's really this big one, which is like, well, just your life online isn't really valid. Just get off the internet and like spend time in real life. But I think experiences that we have online are often just as important and real as the ones we have in the physical world. And there's a lot of range and nuance, and I think the film really explores the nuance of digital life in a way that is a lot less sensationalized. Like I grew up online in online forums, and I never really felt like I saw my experience as someone on the internet um, in a really nuanced and detailed way that can show both the pitfalls and there are also some moments of beauty and connection as well.
So definitely great to see that on film. Just to kind of close out, so you covered someone who is obviously a big Legend of Zelda fan. Have you gotten the chance to play Tears of the Kingdom yet? What do you think?
I've only really just started my playthrough because when it came out, I still had about a month left of finishing the film and the real crunch time leading into Tribeca, and I was like, there's no way I can get started and finish the film at the same time. So now that that the finishing of the film and Tribeca is behind me, I really dived into my playthrough, and it's really just a treat. And one of the great like best parts about making this film is I was always like really a Mario girl growing up, and now I've gone on to the other side, and I just love Zelda, and I'm like really glad that my crew is also filled with Zelda fans, and I think that really comes through in the film. Kind of at the point where everyone finished their roles, I was getting screenshots from Zelda of like, I finally started now that my work is done.
Yeah, definitely a very time-consuming game. So
Yes.
hard to find that work-life balance. So just to close it out, let everyone know where they can find Break the Game at festivals and so on.
Yeah, so next on the docket for us, we're playing Guanajuato International Film Festival in Mexico, Gen Con in Indianapolis on August 3rd, Cinema Q Denver in Denver on August 12th. And then there's a lot more coming as well. And I think the best bet is to follow us at Break Game Movie across all social media.
All right, awesome. So, thanks again so much for talking with me today, Jane. Super interesting subjects to cover. So, really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you. Likewise.